So thanks to Marcus and Jason and everyone, Joe and everyone for having me. I'm not at this point committed to California leaving, but I am committed to studying the question. And I think that the ballot measure that Marcus has filed helps to do that. And why is that important? I want to distinguish, especially as a Green Party member, between Brexit and this discussion. The Green Party opposed Brexit in the UK because it was backwards. They said they're going to leave without understanding what leaving meant. And then they went through all this ridiculous parliamentary procedure for a few years, not understanding what kind of withdrawal agreement they were going to have. You don't say you're going to leave before you know what the withdrawal agreement is going to be. So what this California independence ballot measure does is it sets up a study to see what leaving would mean. So we would be informed about what we're talking about. That's the right order to do things. Number two, it forces us to look at how we're governed today and how we'd want to be governed in the future. What kind of government would we want? What kind of system would we want? And it also forces us to say what doesn't work on the national level. We've talked a little bit here about problems with the Electoral College, the fact that there's not a national popular vote, the fact that we don't use ranked choice voting in our presidential election, all those sort of things. And the size of the, how ridiculous the Senate is, that it disempowers California because you have only 2 members for 40 million people, whereas states like Wyoming have 2 members for a few 100,000 people. So all those issues would be highlighted, and we could be pushing on the United States to say, look, if you want states like California to stay, you need to revisit your democratic structures. And then for us internally, we would also want to say, and this is one of the strengths of the ballot measure, is that it looks at proportional representation elections for here inside of California. We have a terrible system where we have the worst per capita representation in the United States. We only have 120 seats for 40 million people in our state legislature. And the size of the legislature was set in 1878 when we had 865,000 people. We have 40 million today. So we would want to look at, if we were going to be independent, how big should our legislature be, and should we elect it by proportional representation instead of single seat winner take all districts? This ballot measure would bring up that conversation. And even if we stay in the United States, we should be having that discussion anyway. We heard some speakers before talking about how California is a one-party state. You can say a duopoly is 2 wings of one party, but winner take all single seat elections build those kind of dynamics. And with the wonderful diversity that we have in California here in this 21st century nation state, we should have a legislature that incorporates the diversity that's California, and what kind of electoral systems can get us there. That's what this ballot measure helps to promote as a discussion, and that's one reason why I support it.